We do
Josh
exist.
Hart.
What?
We do exist.
We
We
do.
do. Um. So yeah, it's been a while since we have had anything. Who was the last person we had on?
I don't
I
remember.
believe I believe the last person we had on was Nick Cole.
No, we had
No.
another interview since then.
Did we, or
Um,
did we have a couple other interviews
It
scheduled
was
and ready to
the
go, and then
dragon. It
some
was the
stupid
dragon
thing
guy.
happened?
It was the
oh yeah,
dragon guy that we were.
Josh.
Yeah, Josh something.
Oh yeah.
And now, Josh, you're gonna be so mad at us for forgetting your last name, but
Sorry.
it's on our last stream, so you should be able to get it.
I blame the disease which shall not be named.
Yeah, let's not.
Yes.
So we wanted to take a few minutes. We've been meaning to get to this. 2020 has kind of kicked all of our butts, so
Mm-hmm.
it's made doing a podcast kind of difficult,
Yeah.
and we do feel bad about that. So we wanted to take 20 minutes and kind of lay out, here's what's going on, and here's what the podcast is probably going to look like in the future. And if we're not careful, we may have some rabbit trails because, hey, it's us.
May.
Yeah.
I think it's more absolutely will have rabbit trails.
So, Aaron, why don't you start?
Uh, about sums everything up, I think. What have I been up to? Well, big question. Whole lot of nothing. It's well, and yet everything anyway. I've been working from home for the past, I don't know, since what, April?
Yeah.
Which on the one hand has been really nice because I have like no commute time. I can really like roll out of bed and go, what is it, about 12 feet over to my office and good to go. So I'm loving that. But on the other hand, my big plan was like, okay, on my car ride into work, I can listen to audiobooks, catch up on some other podcasts, etc., etc. I don't have that now. And also,
Yeah.
I typically read a bunch of books on break and lunch. And since I'm home, I chat with family and stuff on break and lunch instead of read and whatnot. So, and other big news, I picked up blacksmithing as a hobby over the summer, so that's been fun. Not
Yeah,
the
you need to post some pictures of you've made knives, right?
a couple of knives, a couple of little, basically little hammerwork type projects at the moment. I haven't really made. Oh, that's the other thing. I haven't had enough time to do that either because I've been busy mostly cleaning up after children. And also I've been doing a lot of construction in my office. If you've seen some of the shows in the past, why don't I have my camera on tonight anyway? I don't know.
Well,
I
I
now I
don't
think
have my
now I think
camera
of
on.
that. Now I think of this.
Don't worry about it. I
Yeah, I'm not
wasn't
going
going
to
to
worry
be
about
able to
it.
do the camera tonight.
But if you
You
remember
can.
from some of the past shows, my desk has been kind of out in the basement, and you can see all the exposed plumbing and blah blah blah. That's what I spent most of March and April and May doing was walling in an actual office, with like a door, which I would love to show you, but like I said, the camera's off. And anyway, so I've been
We'll
doing a
take
bunch
some
of
pictures
that
and
and a
post
bunch
it
of
to
cleaning up
Facebook.
for that, and yeah, I'll have to take some pictures and post them on the site for sure. So that's
Yeah,
what
I know
I've been
you
doing is
posted.
mostly that and cleaning, this, that, the other thing.
Yeah.
October's a big birthday month in the DeMont household, so
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. So you have been busy in a good way.
I have. It's one of those things that I'm getting a lot done. It just doesn't feel like I'm getting a lot done because it's not, one of the big to do projects. I wanted to have the second book in the Eternal out, oh, closer to like April, and
Uh-huh.
that's not ready to go yet.
Yeah. 2020 kicked some butt, didn't it?
It sure
Yes,
did.
yes, it did.
Yeah.
Um, so first I want to say, Josh, Chad, we're sorry we forgot for a moment. But it was a pleasure having you on, and we look forward to having you on in the future with some of your future projects. So Uh, Secondly, my 2020 has been a country song,
It really
in a
has,
lot of
hasn't it?
ways. Yeah. So, without going into a lot of detail, I made a move across country.
Not
Uh,
really across country, more like down country.
okay, fair. Um, and I am working a new job that is full time, and it's helping people find health insurance, which is very different than what I've done before.
Very topical too, really.
It really is with the virus that shall not be named.
Dear person,
Uh,
do you need health insurance? No, I'm good. Have you seen the news? You're right. Sign me up.
I have
I'm sure
actually
none of
had
it.
conversations like
I was going to guess that no, well, sadly, none of my calls have been that easy. But
that.
that's good.
Let's see. Other than that, because 2020 has been so much taken so much of an emotional toll on me, I've written very little in the last 8 months or so. That will be changing.
Woohoo.
In the future, I'm ten- tentatively planning on February. Um, I'm going to have a website up, and that website is going to have the first couple chapters of a serial story that is written and partially edited. Uh, and book two is also in the works. So that's for the future. But lately, it's just been, honestly, guys, it's been rough. So for those of our listeners who have had a unpleasant 2020, I can empathize. And so keep strong. And I hope we can have you breathe in and giggle out.
And remember, because apparently nobody was doing this before this year, but everybody remember, wash your hands.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
seriously though, who hasn't been doing that already?
I don't know, but like I was in the quick shop not that long ago and followed somebody out who didn't stop to wash their hands. I'm like,
First of
bro,
all, yeah, oh yeah, first of all, ew. Second of all, have you not seen the giant billboard signs, posters, radio ads, TV ads everywhere telling you to wash your hands? It's because apparently there are people who don't know how.
yeah,
And if you
apparently.
are one of those
Apparently
people,
not.
a quick ad, a quick non-sponsored ad, go out to YouTube, look for Alton Brown hand washing. You'll thank me later.
Yes. Uh, Hand washing is a good thing.
Yeah. So, segueing into my personal update.
Weren't segways like so last year?
Yeah. um, so I haven't moved across the country. I haven't changed jobs.
But your life has
Haven't.
still been a country song.
Yeah, my life has still been a country song. I work for one of the major shipping companies. And for a long time, it was a nearly full-time job this summer because thank you everybody who thinks Amazon Prime and HelloFresh are your best friends. Um, yeah, that has been fun. So if you're friends with me on Facebook, I've made a few comments here and there, and I've got a small circle of people that know all of the ins and outs. But I'm in the middle of a divorce right now, primarily due to extensive emotional abuse. And that went a little further than just emotional. And I'm not going to get into everything here because I still have a legal battle going on and there's still criminal charges involved.
And we want to entertain and not depress.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I mean, basically, COVID hit. Oops, I said the word. I'm sorry.
You said the virus that shall not be named. Is this like Beetlejuice? If you say it 3 times, are we all going to get sick or something? Is that how that works? I'm
Basically,
I'm confused. Because
basically the
are we supposed to wear masks or not wear masks? The news has been telling you one thing and then the other, and I don't know. I'm sorry.
anyway,
I wasn't. I promised myself I wasn't going to go on that particular rant too. But anyway,
yeah. So basically, the lockdowns hit, and within a couple of weeks, I became a single mom unwillingly. Um, so I've been single momming it for, well, since March.
ugh,
So what is that?
I've lost count.
7 months, I guess. Um,
7 long
my
toilet paperless months.
oh, are
I
they
had to get
still
that
on?
one in
Are
there.
you having to use corn cobs still?
Fortunately, I live in the country, so I'm well supplied.
Yay. Um, so
Don't
my
flush them.
my oldest just turned 12 and my youngest is 10. So I have two kids. Um,
She can
but
count.
my this should be fairly straightforward, but my 10-year-old has medical and behavioral issues, and just had a major diagnosis a few weeks ago that we were kind of anticipating, but still kind of caught me off guard. So it's been just struggle after struggle on my end. I have done
Keep
other,
pedaling. I hear banjos.
yeah, really. Um, I've been
I hear banjos in need of a tune-up.
hey, I see goats not very far away, so I'm not very. I mean, I'm sitting in my field, people. um,
No, literally.
literally, I am sitting in my field. Um, but yeah, it's been a lot of hiccups,
You know what you
roller
should
coaster,
do is you should
big.
stand up.
Yeah, I keep hearing
Because
that
then you'd be
advice, but it's
outstanding in your
hard.
field.
It's difficult standing in my field when I have to sit in my car because it's 36 degrees.
Stupid winter.
Um, but yeah, it's been a roller coaster. I've gotten very little writing, if any, done this year. I did have 5 book releases since the 1st of January. Um,
Gotten very
three.
little done. You're making us look like chumps here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I released 3. I mean, everything was written prior to 2020, so
Ah,
there is that. Um, so I in January, February, and March, I released the first 3 contemporary romance books under Liberty Nell Pennington, which is obviously a pen name. And then in July and August, I released a novella and a full-length novel in the Derbyshire Chronicles. Um, what was the name of the novella? I can't remember it right now. This is a bad problem to have.
The Last First Date.
No, that was the one from like 3 years ago.
I can't remember.
Retention, I think, is the name of it. Um, and then the novel is
LDK, prepared as always.
Hey, this is a
As
problem.
prepared as always would be, maybe
When
a
you
better
have a dozen titles out, you forget the names of your own books.
way.
Um, so I did release Escalation in August. That release went pretty well. But I haven't been able to do as
I need to
much.
get around and read that too. Again,
Yeah,
see, lack
actually,
of car time and whatnot.
I just got
Yeah.
the print version in last week or the week before because I had forgotten to order print copies with everything
Oh,
going on. So I did just get some in. So if anybody wants a Christmas present, I mean, it's 2 months out from Christmas. I have a
Thanksgiving
full,
present?
maybe. I do have a
Ooh,
full
ooh, ooh, ooh. You,
set.
you should hand out books for Halloween. There you go, new trend.
See, the thing is where I live, we don't get trick or treaters.
Yeah, me either.
So,
Which is weird because I am literally out in the middle of nowhere, but I am on a fairly major state highway, and still no trick or treaters or nothing.
huh,
Hmm.
crazy. Anyway, so yeah, if anybody wants to purchase copies of the entire set of the Derbyshire Chronicles, I do have the box set Omission and Escalation in stock right now. The limited quantities, but if there's interest, I can get more. I just need to know definitely before Thanksgiving so I can A, get them in, and B, have time to sign and get them back out.
And if anybody
So,
wants free copies, come on, man, a cup of coffee is $5. You
really,
can totally
Exactly.
spring a book that'll give you several hours worth of entertainment. It's well worth the price.
and
And if
while we're
you're
at
really,
it,
really poor, you can sponsor our channel, and we might, maybe, possibly, hint, hint, cough, cough, be occasionally giving out some things, which is
maybe.
Maybe.
segueing into our next update.
Well, let me get on a soapbox for a minute.
Absolutely, soapbox time. That's not in the schedule, but I'll pencil it in.
Okay, guys, if you like our podcast,
The next
you
three
like
hours are
audio.
brought to you by Ivory. I
If
wish.
you like our if you like our podcast, more than likely you like audiobooks as well.
It'd be weird
There
if you
ha-
didn't.
yeah, it really kind of would be. There's been a trend that I've been seeing, and I've heard a little bit of it in some of the podcasts that I listen to, but I've also been seeing it come up more and more in some of the author spaces that I follow, like 20 books to 50K. Um, Amazon is actually telling people that call in for customer service that, yeah, sure, if you have an Audible credit that you use to buy a book, you can return that book even if you've read the entire thing. Guess what
That's
happens?
weird.
Yeah. Guess what happens when this happens to the author or the narrator?
I'm
They
guessing it
have
rhymes with crew.
they lose all of the royalties that they had accrued.
Ugh,
So,
not cool.
yeah, when I sell a copy with a credit for the either of the books that are currently available, I get under $3 a copy. My narrator gets the same amount. To have that taken away is, yeah, doesn't seem like a lot, but it's how we produce the next books. So if you guys want audiobooks, especially through Audible, because hey, I'm an Audible subscriber myself. I love the program. I don't return audiobooks except when my ex-husband got a hold of my account and was buying books I didn't want.
We don't need to go
So
into that, though.
we don't need to go into that. But I don't return my audiobooks for this very reason. I understand what it does. And I do buy a lot of New York Times bestsellers. I also buy a lot of indies.
Even still, if
But,
I buy a book, chances are I'm going to want to reread it, or in this case, re-listen to it
Exactly.
at some point.
and I mean, I understand that some people don't want to reread books.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
The
I
thing
mean,
is
if
that,
you don't want to reread the book and you're poor, there's this great thing called a public library system.
exactly.
Yeah.
If I'm going to call some people out, if you've ever
Uh oh.
done this for the reason that you just don't want to spend the money, please stop doing this. You're stealing from the author if you have read the entire book, and return it. 25% in, I don't care if you say you hate it, send it back. That's fine. If you've read the whole thing, you are stealing. There is a public library. For those of us authors that publish through ACX, which goes to Audible and is Audible exclusive, we can't take our books out for 7 years after we sign that contract. So if you're wanting us on Hoopla or Libby or Overdrive, you're gonna have to wait. But go to your library, find another author that you like, ask your library for the authors you want. You can get them for free and we still make money. But
Everybody's
please,
happy.
please don't steal from your authors that you like. If you're reading the books, please let them have the royalties, because all of us suffer when we lose them. And you will not get the audiobooks in the quality you want if this continues to happen, especially if it's on the platform you prefer. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but if you want more information, reach out to us through the Facebook page, and we will. I have a couple of groups that you can join to help spread the word about this problem, because it is getting to be a major problem.
Audible, not a sponsor, but could be.
Could be.
I don't think
We'd love it.
after that they really want me to sponsor this show.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if people are buying and returning stuff to Audible, they're not making any money either.
Yeah, the thing is that I mean, this is my personal opinion. I mean, I've got skin in this game because I do have audiobooks through ACX and Audible. Um, Amazon should be the one absorbing this cost. They should not be penalizing the authors. They
Oh, totally.
know they know how many or how much percent those people have read on those books because they can track that. You don't think they can? Oh, heck yeah, they can.
They can track
All right,
everything.
now you're off your soapbox.
Okay.
Are you sure?
But yeah, I mean, they know. So, Amazon should really be
I think she's still on her soapbox.
Maybe. Anyway, okay, what was next on our agenda?
I was trying to ride that segue into the what do we call them? Patron sponsors, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah, the patrons.
We haven't forgotten about you. We love you.
No,
We're
we
sorry.
do love you.
We're sorry that 2020 has kicked us in the rear end.
Yes,
We've wanted to do
2020
so much more than we actually have.
Yes.
And we are actually planning on that. However, because schedules are a thing and adulting is a thing, don't worry. I'm
He's
not
coughing. Quick, disinfect the
because-
microphone. Disinfect the headsets.
Because 2020 is a thing and adulting is a thing. In the future, we will very rarely be able to meet, at least for the time being, as a trio.
We're
Going
hoping
to have,
this does not last long.
yes, we're going to have guest hosts in the meantime, and it's going to be single or duos. So it might be Aaron and I, or Liberty and Aaron, or Liberty and I,
Or a surprise guest host and one of us.
Yep. So we don't know how long that'll last, but we will keep you guys informed. And if you're interested in guest hosting and you're a fan of the show, reach out to us through our Facebook page.
Ooh.
Yep. And for our patrons, Aaron and I discussed this before the show. As I don't know, consolation for not doing some of the things we did promise this year, we would like to offer you 2 ebooks of
Free books.
your choosing. It can be one of Aaron's, one of mine, 2 of mine, 2 of Aaron's, whatever combination. Reach out to us. You can get us at ldkpodcast@gmail.com or through the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ldkpodcast.
Specifically, this is for our patrons.
Yeah, for our patrons. You might be able to reach us through our Patreon page too.
You can.
So, and if you are interested in becoming a patron, what are our levels?
We have, I believe it's death. No.
Yeah. We have red shirt, gold.
Red shirt, blue shirt, and gold shirt, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right. We're really prepared. We forgot to look this stuff up before we got on the show. But you can financially support us, and if for some reason that doesn't work for you, or like us, 2020 has kicked your butt, do us a solid and maybe leave a review on iTunes or share the podcast with others. We have
Give us a like on
100?
YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah.
Subscribe on YouTube or Twitch.
We have a bunch of older episodes, and it would be awesome if you shared your favorites with your friends and other people who enjoy sci-fi and fantasy books. So yeah. What else? We've got a couple more things, right, on the agenda?
I think that was it.
Yeah, I think that was it.
That was everything I had written down.
Okay. I think there was one last thing. Didn't we have something that had the DMD?
Oh, yes.
acronym?
Yeah, I can't talk today. I can't talk any day. I have a voice for TV. Silent movies.
Basically, the limited amount of time that Josh, Aaron, and I actually have where all 3 of us are available, we're doing fun stuff like playing D&D.
Great way to get your mind off all the crap that's going on.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is.
So, I mean, we would hate to give up our D&D time even for LBK. Um, but we may have a partial solution to that in the future. And if
More
you're
notes on
paying
that
attention,
coming in the future.
yeah. Uh, a few weeks ago, we ran a session of D&D that I ran. Um, and we're going to try to do some more of that. But again, life kind of sucks right now. Um,
You can
but
find that on YouTube and Twitch. I think it's on Twitch as well, but definitely on
yeah,
YouTube.
Yes.
it's on Twitch. I haven't uploaded it to the podcast feed yet. Mostly because it's like 2 hours long
Yeah.
and my internet sucks. And I think the download was like 3 gigabytes of
But
size.
yeah, that's definitely on YouTube for sure and Twitch. So if you
Yeah,
want to listen to it there,
yeah. So that
fun was
we had
had by
some
all.
fun. Fun was had by all. And it was
Yes.
the first time I'd ever DM'd a game, so that was fun. You can see me fall on my face.
Oh, you didn't do that bad. We all had a blast.
Uh,
And spoiler alert, in the future, more recorded episodes of D&D will be coming, but we're not going to say who they're going to be run by or who special guests might be.
Ooh.
now you're being all mysterious.
I am.
Well, yeah, that's the whole idea is, to get people to not forget about us again.
And
so,
I
and if
still
you have
blame the
forgotten,
disease which shall not be named.
yeah.
so is that like Voldemort?
Yes. Or
Okay.
Beetlejuice. Like I said, don't say it 3 times in a row. I don't want to find out what happens.
I think Voldemort is more appropriate on this case.
6 of 1.
I mean, Beetlejuice was
Hey, I think that
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I think that's more like 6 there. Then we totally should
Well,
have hired somebody to dress up. And that'd be hilarious, considering how close this is to Halloween. Now we think of
This is true.
this.
okay, so a random fact
Don't die.
factoid is on the show Community. They had a multi-season gag, uh, and it was Blink If You Miss It. During the first 3 seasons, once per season, somebody said Beetlejuice. And after the third time, in the background in one of the scenes, you see somebody dressed as Beetlejuice walk by.
That's hilarious.
Okay, real quick. What was your guys' favorite read so far of the year?
I know I've read things this year, but I've totally forgotten them. Like I said it earlier, it's just been so. I haven't gotten as much read as I've wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Easily Peace Talks. I listened to it via audio, um, and it was amazing and heart wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my favorite of the year.
Yeah. I'd have to agree. Peace Talks and or Battleground. Very good. Definitely worth the wait. Um, right now, I'm currently listening to Failure is Not an Option by Gene Kranz, which has actually been out for quite a while. And um, if you guys know Apollo
Don't
13,
don't the
uh,
MythBusters have a book by that same title out?
possibly.
Could be.
That sounds like something right up their alley. But yeah, Gene, I'm about a quarter of the way through it right now. I try to listen to something about the space program every year or two. Um,
Mm.
and that so far is really fascinating and I'm really enjoying it.
Hmm.
And considering that he's not necessarily a writer, I'm actually really fascinated with the descriptions that he has of people that he worked with over the years. Um, for some reason, I'm noticing that very much, and it's kind of fascinating because he's like a military guy, was Air Force and test pilot and stuff before he was in NASA. So if you want something fascinating about the original space program, Mercury, Gemini, Apollo years, definitely pick that up. Unfortunately, it's not read by him, but the narrator on that audiobook is really good. So,
Sounds
so
really
yeah,
interesting, yeah.
yeah. I listened to a book about the Apollo years by Andrew Chaikin, I think last year, and it was based off of actual interviews that he did with all but I think two of the original astronauts. Um, that was fascinating. Made me laugh, made me cry, made me get angry at the end with the end of the Apollo program. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just because, even though it's been 45 years, it's like the political decisions that were made that ended it were just
You guys hear that joke about the
heartbreaking.
moon landing?
Oh,
You know that
that,
they really were faked, but Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were such perfectionists that they insisted it was shot on location.
Yes.
I have seen that. That's amazing. So yeah, so Space Nerd comes out for a minute, and yeah, go if you haven't read it. I mean, it's probably been out a dozen years by now. Gene Kranz, that's Kranz. He was the flight director during the Apollo program for a lot of the major um, events like Apollo 13, Apollo 11. So yeah, that's a good one.
No, I
You
want to
should
go
pick that.
watch Apollo 13 again too.
That's like one of my favorites.
They did
It
such a
is a
good
good
job of
movie.
that, and yes, I want to read that book now too.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've read it, but the book that Apollo 13 is based off of is Lost Moon by Jim Lovell and Jeffrey Kluger. That's really good too. So, but anyway, so do we have anything else we want to let everybody know?
I think that's it for now. Other than stay tuned, and we'll hopefully get some more stuff out soon.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's all, folks.
And if
That's
you
my
guys have
line.
any, if
The
you guys have any,
part anyway.
if you guys have any ideas on people you'd like to see on the show in the future, send us a line and we will see what we can do. Especially if you have their email address or phone number that we can harass them with. Wait,
Because we would,
harassment is a bit of a strong word.
because we
Maybe.
would love to have them on, whoever they are.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, thanks for tuning in again. Again, we're sorry it's been forever. Uh, look forward to new and exciting stuff.
Yes.
Stand by for the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball. No, wait. Wrong show.
Mahogany.
There's a
Do
joke
we
that,
have
like, two of our
Splash on this
listeners.
episode yet?
That's like a joke that two of our listeners will get. Maybe. The
Yes.
overlap there is not large.
No.
Good night, everyone. Have a good one.
Good night.